Okay. We're playing on Eternal. And then I need to make my live split visible for y'all. Okay. So this is non-seasonal, which is going to change the routing a little bit, but we'll talk about that as we do it. First thing that's first, though, I need to go into Options, Controls, and do this. Save changes. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a campaign speedrun world record attempt. My name is Crimson, and there are very few people in my chat right now, which means that it is probably the case, if you're watching this, that about 2.5 hours from now, I make a world record. Hooray for me!
Careful! He's a wild one.
What's it?
Come, I'll explain. There is evil staring in the ruins to the north. That poor monk back there must have gone inside.
Okay, so our goal is to get points into the acceleration passive as soon as possible. And when we do that, that is going to be very, very helpful. And then once we have the option to do so, we're going to put points into Rushing Claw. The reason that we want Rushing Claw to be available is that we're going to be able to use Rushing Claw through quite a few dungeons, in fact, in order to be able to move super duper quickly. And then, of course, we have Soar for all of our fancy wall jump nonsense that we do on every class. Hopefully, between Rushing Claw and all of our other options, we're going to be able to get a good time today. Our hope is for something around 2 hours and 40 minutes, but that's a pretty aggressive goal. The world record for Spiritborn on seasonal is 2 hours 43, so 240, a very, very aggressive goal, given that I don't have the accelerationism of those all-important witch powers helping me to level up more consistently. So we're actually going to need to lose quite a bit of time in Act 1 compared to that record attempt. Okay, and then we're getting Scourge here because Scourge gives us a way to restore our vigor without stopping moving. So we'll have to see whether or not this makes any sense as a strategy. Okay, Hooked Glaive is good. Yeah, so we're 20 seconds behind already. You can see how important those witch powers are in the early routing based on that.
You've returned.
The old
Lost souls, all of you.
Okay.
You are blessed like us now.
That was all of them.
Okay, and then we're gonna speak to Yosef here. And once we speak to Yosef, we can get the chapel key from Varney's corpse and continue moving. Okay, and then we have to save our evade here because after we touch the blood petals, we can evade to get out of our slow get up animation, and then we'll be good to go. We've chosen Soar gives us Unstoppable as an option here because there are going to be a number of places, notably in Hawazar, as well as a little bit in the Dry Steppes arc, where not being able to grant ourselves Unstoppable means we're going to lose significant time to being slowed by flies and snakes and spiders and other things that have slow as an attack modifier. So that's going to be really, really important for us to have a mechanism to give ourselves.
Is anyone here? What are you hiding?
The ultimate thing, of course, is that we want to make sure that we get boots with evade gives movement speed, and then use that bonus movement speed to we want to use that movement speed as a way to accelerate ourselves, given that our how do I say this? Given that the passive acceleration gives us bonus evade charges, we'll be able to get maximum movement speed with really high uptime on the basis of having that additional set of evade charges. Because then we'll have evade 4, 5, 6 times, and that will mean that we can use that evade, give 75% movement speed bonus on the boots a whole lot. So our first sort of trick here is that we need to really, really make sure that we find the appropriate yellow boots and that we find them before the end of Act 1. It's not the end of the world if we don't find them, but it certainly makes the speedrun much more vulnerable to other people coming and breaking it. Okay. And then now...
We were born in sin. Children of darkness.
Okay. With a glaive, we get bonus lucky hit chance, which is a big deal for us. For reasons that will come obvious later on. So as weapons drop for us among equals, we would choose a glaive over anything else.
Here, take the knight's report before you go.
Reverend Mother,
Okay.
I received a report of a potential demon sighting. Horned woman near Yelesna Mines. Performed routine inspection.
Okay.
Nothing yet.
And then we will be running all the way down here. To Yelesna. And in Yelesna, we have much to do. Our vendor time is not going to be anything close to that seasonal time.
What do you need?
Okay. Okay, really good treasure goblin location, in fact. Polearm this early, legendary polearm this early is absolutely crazy RNG for us. If it has something good on it, that can be a huge deal. Helm can be helpful. Typically, armor doesn't matter that much.
She did.
Okay, that polearm is nuts.
The damn hoist is stuck. We've got to go on foot. Look out!
Hey, that's my mother's charm on your wrist.
Okay, that's really good. Is there a chest? There is a chest here, and it's a glowing chest, so we have an option. Nope, doesn't end up being useful. 8 minutes flat to this door is not great, but it's also not terrible. Alright, and then now as we run through the mine here, we have some map reading to do, but it's not too difficult.
And leave my mother in Lilith's care for as long as that will take?
Shaking like
Strider's shoes could have movement speed on them. They don't happen to, but they could. Okay, and then our job here is just to try and keep moving as quickly as possible, using Scourge and Vortex where we can in order to keep things going.
What's special about this place anyway? What would draw Lilith here?
That Drifter's Tunic is not useful for us at all.
no one goes in, nothing comes out. That's all.
Are these boots identical? Yes, they are. So we're going to choose the ones that are aesthetically more pleasing to me personally, which is the ones that I just equipped. There's no real reason to switch there. I just like this view model more. And then here, while we have the opportunity, we're going to equip our wings and a pet.
Enemies approaching.
Neither one of which does anything for us that matters in the speedrun, but it costs us 0 time to equip them, and I like how they look.
This time.
This really just goes to show how significant the changes are from seasonal to eternal, because on eternal, since I don't have the witch powers available, things end up being super duper slower. And this is actually the dramatically harder, and in my mind, more prestigious category, because it's the one where you can't rely on the gimmick of seasonal powers. Sort of how the game is meant to feel, if I'm honest.
I've got it.
That was...
Okay, and then once we move through that room, there will be a spawn that gives us...
like that.
She wouldn't.
There will be a spawn that is guaranteed to give us, excuse me, a
Sure she had a good reason.
chest, and it can spawn in one of 3 locations as we exit that room where we waited for Narelle to clear for us. Glaive option there. Okay. Okay. So the leveling strategy is very, very different here. We're going to lose substantial time in Act 1 compared to what we might otherwise expect.
Go!
Yeah, so 10:30 to that door is much more reasonable. Dex max life, pretty good. Not a bad roll for that ring. You'll notice we are super duper slow here compared to what we might otherwise get. We get a little bit of movement speed bonus when we use Soar, so we're going to be trying to use Soar off cooldown.
The hoist. At last, I'll ride out.
Now, the thing is, with Russian Claw, you have to have a target.
What happened?
The consequence, when we're in places where there are lots of mobs, Russian Claw is very, very useful for us. We're going to be able to use it to path through dungeons very, very efficiently. We will eventually be getting rid of our basic skill, but we'll see whether or not... We'll see how early that occurs, essentially.
Over there.
What is this?
Okay, and then we walk past the blood petals in every circumstance, because we want to be able to...
There.
12:30 to that door is about 15 seconds slower than I would really have liked it to be. But that's okay. We can handle 15 seconds slower than we would like. What are the modifiers on this? Dex, max life, lucky hit, chance to heal. Okay. Not great, not terrible. Being level 7 is pretty good. We would like to be a little bit higher than that if we could be. Unfortunately, it's not gonna... It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. You'll notice that the Russian Claw additional charges matter a whole lot. Okay, pants upgrade, we take that. Now the trick here is that we have to use Russian Claw essentially off cooldown.
Blocked again. Does Lilith know we're coming?
Okay, and then we do Scourge there to regen our Vigor as much as we can. And then again, we're using Russian Claw on faraway targets to try and get as deep into here as we can. We're keeping an eye out for yellow boots and yellow accessories, rings, amulets, things like that, as often as we can. And then you'll notice I take a bit of extra experience there. As much as I can, I'm trying to hit level 8 before this next room. I need to be level 7.85. You'll notice that I'm level 7.7 right now. If you look at my experience bar, you'll see what I mean. I need to be 7.85 before I go into this next room. So we're actually kiting this big mob together as much as we can in the hopes that we can get just a bit more experience. We're going to risk it at 7.8, which is where we are right now.
This area.
And then we're using teleport as much as we possibly can. Excuse me, soar as much as we possibly can. What we're going to do here is use Invasive Russian Claw. Once we use Invasive Russian Claw, we're going to actually take the points out of Vortex here, or possibly out of Thunderspike. And once we have the points out of Thunderspike, we're going to put our ultimate onto our bar here. It's going to be super duper important. We only get a tiny bit of experience from completing this next quest, and not being level 8 is going to make things a lot harder in this next room. Mostly because we would really like to have Russian Claw available. We're using Quill Volley because Quill Volley has a pretty dramatically superior internal scaling multiplier that ends up mattering a lot in quite a few circumstances. And you can see that that just barely gets us to the ability to use Invasive Russian Claw, which is super duper nice. And then now we're going to try and kite Narelle up here onto the platform with us as deeply as we can possibly go. We just barely missed it because the cooldown on Soar is slightly longer than I'm used to from the cooldown on Teleport and Leap, its analogies on other classes. Okay, and then you'll notice I do a ton of damage there with Scourge. Now I need to rebuild my Vigor between phases.
You won't take what's mine.
Okay, now that my Vigor is fully set up, I try to stand in a position where I can use Vortex on as many of these different Hellspawn Harpies as I possibly can. And then I'm going to go ahead and Russian Claw to get closer to this next one. And I should be able to do that phase there. Bit of a slow phase there for me, didn't take that fight particularly well. And then hopefully she's going to spawn one here, one here, one here, and one here, and one behind her. I'm going to try and grab these 4. If you're super duper skillful, you can get this one as well. But it's been a while since I've done that category. So we're not aiming for, you know, perfect play on this. Okay, the longer cast animations on several of these. Super duper slow. And then we put our favorited waypoint back there at Yelesna. We have to talk to Narelle. Narelle's going to hand us a knife that we don't care about. So while we're teleporting, we're going to drop it. Like this. And then we teleport up to Yelesna. Now that we're in Yelesna, we're going to go to the Herodric Illusion. There are 3 ways out of the Herodric Illusion. Within this Herodric Illusion, you always go up and right first. The reason for that is pretty simple. If up and right isn't the exit, it will always tell you where the exit is. I'll explain what I mean by that in a moment. And then I'm trying to position myself in such a way that I can rush and claw to these elites as they spawn. And we didn't get it. It goes to the right, though. So that's good. Okay, so the exit is going to be down here.
You're stuck in an illusion created.
Okay.
Relax. No harm will come to you here.
Okay, and then now I'm going to go ahead and set my favorited waypoint to here, set a cue point here. I'm going to go ahead and open this and unbind this quest. Because I don't want the Right back there.
Seen enough.
Click on the door right as it becomes available to click here, and then as we get over here, the wolf is going to stand there. I stand between him and the portal, so that way I can click on him, start the dialogue, and open the portal here.
To warn.
And now I'm within contact of the portal, so I don't need to move between the end of that dialogue.
Back in the Quadran's illusion.
If I come over here, Nayrel is going to be unclickable for a moment. I step past her, so I'm closer to my ultimate objective, which is to get into this little arena over here on the edge. Soar should just barely be on cooldown right as I walk in range, so I use Soar to skip walking down that long ramp. Stand in the middle of the arena in the hopes that I can use Vortex to get as much of the first wave as I can. First wave is down already. Now I'm going to use Rushing Claw to try and reposition to the middle of things. As I get through with Rushing Claw, you'll notice that I touch the statue at around 20 minutes here. That's a little bit slower than you'd be able to do on Seasonal. Seasonal is much, much faster. This is also one of the few places in the campaign where I'm going to be able to ride my horse and not need to dismount it in order to enter the next area, which is super useful. It's a couple seconds worth of time save there. Now I'm going to be able to talk to Nayrel when she says this is the place, and I go all the way over here. She gets confused by that door and sees the seal. She's going to tell us to come over here. We can actually just go ahead and come over here, kill these quill rats well before she does anything of her own. And we can then use some quill rats and bats here in order to Rushing Claw back into where Nayrel is.
You might want to take a step back.
And again, in a major difference from against. So you'll notice again, I can't Rushing Claw if there's no target for Rushing Claw 2, which is very sad. So this looks like I'm on super slow pace, but all that we need to do is make sure that we keep our eyes open, so to speak.
It's the Chesapeake shot.
Okay. So now we're going to soar, and then there should be enemies, so we're just going to be spamming Rushing Claw on the places that we want to go to here, because there are going to be enemies in front of us the entire time, so you'll see we can Rushing Claw and close a ton of gap against those mobs there. So it's just Rushing Claw, Rushing Claw, Rushing Claw all the way through. I use Soar, and then now that I have Soar spent, you'll notice I have Rushing Claw charges coming back up. Rushing Claw all the way to short here.
You won't take my master's book.
Okay. So that is the short fight.
That book. I should take this
Once
back
short
to
is done, I'm going to go ahead and teleport all the way back to that first room. And when I teleport back to that first room, I'm going to be able to talk to Nayrel again. And again, using Soar gives me a temporary bonus to my movement speed. I've already set my waypoint preference to Kyovashad, so when I do level up, I'm going to be able to spend that level up point while I teleport, because I've already spent time doing that. I don't need to open the mini-map in order to make any progress there. Now I'm going to come up here and talk to Yosef.
See that the kitchen is ready for tomorrow's service. Angels
Yep.
above. You've returned.
And I already have a pin on Corvalar, where Reverend Mother Prava is waiting for us. So now I've put 1 point in Brilliance, the first Eagle passive. I need to put another point past that in Acceleration, the one that gives us bonus evade charges. And now we begin the real item crunch, the part where I get really seriously peeved if I don't find any yellow boots before I exit Act 1. My exit Act 1 time is probably going to be something along the lines of 36 to 38 minutes, which is not too bad, given the tools available to us in the Eternal Realm.
State your business.
Reverend Mother Prava expects me.
Open the gates.
Okay, and then now as we continue to push through here, it should be just barely on pace to hit the levels that I need.
Not many could bear your sins.
Hold.
She's expecting us.
Vigo. Good
So
luck.
again, among near equals, I will prefer glaive to anything else because glaives are going to get the benefit from focal point here.
You've returned. Vigo here tells me you were braver than he. First,
May as well make myself useful.
Okay, and then now we need to go and do the more complicated part. On Eternal, the Fields of Judgment, this reason that we're about to head into, on Eternal, they're massively, massively, massively harder than they are on Seasonal. On Seasonal, they're just a gimme. On Eternal, this is actually very, very difficult technical movement. Part of the reason for that is that on Eternal, you end up in this situation where you can't kill the mob as quickly as you would like to.
creature of dark.
And so, as a consequence, you end up needing to pretty heavily rely on like crowd control manipulations and pathing manipulations. Now, I'm just spamming Russian Claw as we walk here in the hopes that we get that to happen, where you dash forward quite suddenly. Then I'm going to start doing this, and we're going to stun the mob in the middle of doing that. We can place the idol down, excuse me.
Wounds. Let the
And now we
ice
pre-move our mouse as we pick things up,
welcome your
and that allows us
for
to
the
continue moving.
of the flesh
You'll notice that
is the
as we
first
spam
cleansing of the soul.
Russian Claw farther forward in front of
Make your
us,
faith stronger
just trying to get down here
than heart.
to this next idol placement. I'm actually going to hold on to my sword charge, even though I have one available.
Look around at the mountains towering over you.
Okay, and the reason that we hold on to that sword charge
Small you are. Embrace
is because we want to be able to, immediately upon picking this up, be able to teleport over this wall using Soar. I've made a couple of early movement mistakes here, but so far, given the item options that I've been given, I'm playing within a couple of seconds of perfect. I think I've probably lost around 15 seconds to minor movement mistakes, which, given the duration of the category, is not that bad. And then what we do is we fear the mob, and while they're feared, we place this down and then start the rest of this. You'll notice that we can't pick up the idol yet,
to yourself.
and so
Find
that allows us to,
how it feels
now that the mob's been feared, we can go ahead and make progress on placing the idol and then picking the idol back up.
without
I'd really like to hit level 10 before we get into this next area here.
light. And remember,
So as a consequence, we're going to just kill some trash mobs. And then we place this on the Shrine of the Pennant. We talk to Vigo, and we position right here in this corner,
So I like
because that allows us to soar before that gate opens and save a couple of seconds. Then again, we can ride our horse, and we can enter the Alabaster Monastery before things are open.
Before him.
Now, there are a couple of places along this staircase where we may be able to save a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of time. And that is by trying to find ambient objects to which we can rush and claw. No luck so far, and then once we click on that door, the cutscene's going to start on its own. That gives me time to open the minimap and set my next convenient waypoint all the way down at the bottom there. Now I can line myself up on this staircase, hold Alt, tap A, and you'll notice that that holding Alt means I'll continue walking forward along that path. A allows me to access my skill menu while I do that. So, as a consequence, I end up going, I end up continuing to move while I reskill things, and that's one of the reasons that PC is superior to console, in addition to some of the fancier teleport manipulations that you can do with wall bangs. So now we're going to ride back up to Corvalar, where Prava is going to say, oh, well, he didn't kill you. That's good enough for me. And along the way, I'm just checking a couple of chest spawn locations where chests can spawn. Because again, I'm really fishing for those yellow boots. The chances of me getting them goes up pretty dramatically after I hit level 12. So I'm not too worried just yet. That said, I'm very definitely not going to hit level 15 before the Erida fight, which is a really big problem for this compared to the seasonal pathing. It's not a big enough problem that it makes me really worried about anything. While Prava gives her little sermon, I go ahead and set my waypoint back down to Yelesna, to which I will teleport after having this conversation. Oh, so she walks inside. I'm going to talk to her, cancel the rest of the conversation, then teleport to Yelesna. And upon doing that, I'm going to go ahead and ride all the way up to the mine, where I will meet with Nerel. Now, as I continue to do this, there are a couple of things that I'm doing. One is, I'm not actually looking at my horse itself. I am looking at a number of places where chests can spawn, like this. Hoping to find weapon upgrades. And boot upgrades in particular. So you'll see there's another chest here. There's one more that can spawn at the mouth of the cave here, right up here to the left. And we happen to get that. That chest glowing is a good sign for us. We got a helm, not boots or a weapon, but still better than nothing. So you'll notice we lose, 3, 4, 5 seconds there as we path our horse just barely out of position in order to be able to do all the rest of this. Okay, and then we're using Rushing Claw to get all the way down there. You'll notice that I use Soar, and because I'm using Soar and it has a slightly longer cooldown, I use that cooldown duration to pick up a little bit of experience from that adjacent mob. Okay, we get all the way up here.
Coming from the Black
I'm
Lake.
gonna go ahead and drop those items.
Let's hurry.
Okay, and then now we should be good to go through the rest of this setup. The nice thing about Rushing Claw is, in addition to the movement toolkit, ooh, another chest. Options. These shoes could have an upgrade on them. They don't really, but we'll take them anyways. One additional max life never hurt anyone.
It started in dreams.
Okay, those gloves are very, very good for us.
I need to destroy the tumors to go any further.
So far we have 2 weapon temperable items in the form of our gloves and our ring, and then of course we have the weapon temper upgrade from the orange polearm that we have, which is super duper helpful.
The prophecy became my burden.
Okay.
There were others.
And then we're just trying to use these Rushing Claw charges as we can to get through these mobs and places where we would get stuck. There's a chest that can spawn here. It didn't spawn for us, but that is okay. I'm being a bit cavalier with my use of Soar. I'm not really saving the Soar charges the way that I could, or maybe perhaps should, is the word that you would use. Were this you?
So I locked the gates to
Okay.
hell.
And then we're just taking a few elites here in the hopes of finding those keystone yellow items that we need. Boots and rings. A weapon upgrade would not be unwelcome at this point. especially because the weapon that we do have was dropped to us at level 5, so we're past another item level breakpoint, and consequently the weapon upgrade that we would find would be pretty substantial, especially if we found a yellow or orange weapon. Now, the chances of us finding a yellow or orange weapon are pretty minimal. Like I said, they go up pretty dramatically at level 12 and again at level 15. So it's not too bad for us.
I'm being followed.
Yep. And then here we're going to go ahead and pop our Scourge in order to help us out there. Now we're going to be able to Rush and Claw into the middle of this.
Outsider, beyond this chamber, there's nothing but death and mourning. How fitting it shall be your grave.
Okay, and then this is actually not a very deadly floor condition. Right, you can see that I take very little damage there, but it allows me to store up a pretty significant amount of vigor. Right, and I want to have that full set of vigor because it's possible I can just barely save a cycle here. Okay, and then I store up the full amount of vigor I can possibly get and try and catch him in the middle of this sequence here in the hopes of skipping the last phase. I just barely missed the cycle there, so we're going to go ahead and save up some more vigor once again, try and end the fight as quickly as we can. 36 flat, not bad at all, really. It looks much worse than it is. We get a quarterstaff and a ring, and then now we get Vigo's amulet.
You didn't need that armor.
Vigo's amulet can have movement speed on it. This one does not, which is very sad for us.
I will not ask again.
And remember, our waypoint from earlier is all the way set back to being
Where is she?
in
him?
Yelesna, so when we get out of here, I can teleport back to Yelesna, and I can continue to use my teleport shorts. There. Now I'm going to ride my horse back up here to talk to Neyrel. Neyrel's going to hand me my second yellow ring of the run. Rings are guaranteed to you, which is very useful.
Vigo.
Neyrel.
Okay, and then we teleport to Kyovashad. We put this ring in here, and we are good to go. Not having movement speed on boots, very sad. If we don't find yellow boots by the time that we hit that level 15 breakpoint, I will be resetting. Okay, boots. Not the best boots, but boots, which is a good sign to start with. The boots have attack slower, evades cooldown. Oh, but they have the maximum possible roll of movement speed. So although these are not the best boots, these are still very good. It changes our skill point spending strategy a little bit. We're going to take those points out of acceleration for the time being, at least the ones after that first point. Because the evade charges no longer matter as much to us. And so, as a consequence, things are going to get a little bit different. Part of the optimization there is that you want the bonus evade charges in case you get boots with evade gives cooldown reduction. I mean, with evade gives movement speed, not cooldown reduction.
I'm looking for a
Okay, and then I'm just going to quickly pop over here and talk to the armor vendor. Nothing. Talk to the weapon vendor. Grappling beacon. Probably an upgrade.
He's upstairs.
How big of an upgrade is that? 2. Okay. Nothing.
I need to be out in the field with the other knights.
Why the rush, my boy? You know, I found some of my old Horadric.
So, like I said, we're going to take the points out of this and put them into this and this.
I can take some with me. We have a visitor.
So, Rumbling Beacon there is actually a very useful polearm upgrade, although it doesn't look like it. Simply because the farther that we get into things, the more that weapon damage is going to matter. And the fact that it's yellow means that we're at least guaranteed to be able to temper something at level 15, although we are, of course, always looking for upgrades until we hit those tempers. As we go deeper in here, there are a couple of places where we expect to have the opportunity to get some really good items. So we will see how things go. And then, of course, at level 15, the Spirit Hall choice is going to be a big deal for us as well.
A signal.
And so we'll try and make use of all of that as well. Okay, and then now as we ride up here, we're going to be doing as much as we possibly can to Elder Quarterstaff. That is a big upgrade, actually, probably, simply because quarterstaves have faster attack animations than polearms do, and right now I'm using a polearm. There is a place where a chest can spawn in this next little area that we pass through, and that chest spawn is a big deal for us. Because again, we're still looking for all those big item upgrades. So right here, there can be a chest, and in fact there is. Didn't get anything useful from it, but it's useful to know ahead of time where exactly these chest spawns can be. Then as we continue on into this next little region, we get to do a skip that was very importantly discovered. We have a dialogue scene right here between the local captain. This looks like a downgrade, but is in fact an upgrade. It looks like it because it's lower total damage per second, but the faster attack animation is going to offset that, as well as the multiplicative bonus to our base damage that is implicit on the staff itself.
You look like someone who's seen the world.
Okay, and then now we're going to ride right up to this particular little cranny in this cliff.
My father,
right here.
You've seen how he is. I need to persuade him.
And then you'll notice that from there, we're able to just go ahead and evade all the way down here. See, so you'll notice we are noticeably attacking much faster than we were a moment ago. You'll also notice that a huge amount of our damage is coming simply from the fact that Quill Volley does an enormous amount of multiplicative damage bonus internally with advantageous Quill Volley right here. Right, because I'm barely able to kill this, and this is on normal difficulty. This is the lowest possible difficulty. You just end up so under-leveled at this point.
We shall go back.
It worked. Something's rousing the spirits from their rest. We should make haste within.
Okay.
This chamber is just how my father described it.
You'll notice how big of a deal those Russian claw charges really are.
Erida would not.
Okay. As always, like I said, among near equal items, we will prefer glaives to anything else because of the bonus lucky hit chance, and that is not just a near equal, it is in fact superior to our item in terms of raw damage, which is really good for us. Vigor on kill, very important bonus effect there as well.
That did it. Maybe this will ease the dead. It's a start, at least.
Okay, and then we walk all the way in here. You'll see Yoren slowly walks up to this next little area.
By stone and roots, by tears and pain, we
Ordinarily, if you were level 15 here, I am not close to level 15, but if you were level 15 here, you would teleport back to town. Instead, I used this time to take a bite of my dinner.
Ah, an elegy written by Erida. This is a memorial to all who died fighting Astaroth.
The weak perish. All us forgotten.
Wait! We are not your enemy! Lilith. She must be bending these heroes to her will. This must be the
Bonus max evade charges. Nope, these boots are inferior to the ones that we already have equipped, and in fact, they're so inferior, they cannot possibly become superior to the ones that we already have.
Druid runes to rouse the dead. These runes. What do we do?
We'll need to stop her.
Right. Solutions are found ahead, not behind, as Father says.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Something screaming in rage ahead. Oh no. That was one of the revered dead from the cairns.
Returned to the worms. May they find rest.
Arlo.
Did you think we'd so easily join the dead, lad? How did you find your way up here?
Through the cairns.
Through them? Mighty brave of you. And mighty foolish. Erida came through.
I'll stay here and protect these two. The fog is too near.
Okay.
The fog is thinning now. I should check on Yoren.
The roads are clear now. We need to get to Braystack. It's safer there.
We've lasted this long and survived worse.
You've been fortunate.
Braystack.
They're rising from the cairns.
Have you seen the signs as I have?
Erida?
Hell is coming, and my people are not ready to face it. Not yet. But you are already strong. Come forward.
So now we're level 14, and quite a bit. So if we find a 3-pack of elites, I am going to dismount and take it. Same for a treasure goblin here, because there is a blacksmith in Tyrmere, which is the next place that we're going. So... that being glittering prim and not an equipment guy is garbage for us. But we will make use of it anyway. Okay. Why is that a pathing thing that's even possible?
Saw that. Overgrown vermin's broke another trap.
The whole forest has gone mad.
We're not going out there again. There's a horned...
Okay, and then as we always do here, we have to do a bunch of fancy task layering. Okay, so then now we have to do our primary spirit hall, which is Eagle. Okay, and then... oh, it's glittering prim again.
A barrier of blood. There must be a
Yeah.
way to bring it down.
We actually don't care about glittering prim. Okay, and then now... it's not one.
Fane's blood. It all flows here.
Come to me, spawn of hatred.
Okay, and then this is our last chance to get good items.
Damn it.
Before
Wounded, but not dead. Where is that creature gone?
we temper. And then the Quietus of Nefane is completely useless to us, so we get rid of that. Okay, what we would really like to find is a legendary ring, because if we find a legendary ring,
Blocked. I'll have to find another way inside.
You there! Come here! The horn.
we're going to be able to get Stormfeather Potency, and Stormfeather Potency is incredibly valuable to us because Stormfeathers give us movement speed, and with the Eagle Spirit Hall, we're going to be able to get that movement speed bonus amplified every time we cast Evade. So as a consequence, you can see I'm getting my movement speed increased, right? And the more Stormfeather Potency I have, the more potent that is. So that's a huge deal.
Light, cleanse these faithful servants of their sin. Bring them peace in death. If you didn't see Yorin outside, we'll search on the way.
So we're going to continue moving along here.
We were discussing what happened to Erida this night. He was with Yorin. One of Yorin's protectors. Come quickly.
Okay, attack speed dex, dex max.
Yorin's mace is here. I told them to get out.
Maybe he and the Knights tried to stop Lilith. Could she have taken him somewhere?
What possible reason would she have?
Okay, so that Stormfeather Potency is going to be a huge deal.
We need to move. The way to Astaroth is through here.
Why is Lilith so eager to find Astaroth?
I've been asking myself that same question, but I'm as much in the dark about it as you are, I'm afraid. They share a connection, though, and a strong one at that. Astaroth. Here it is. The Soul Stone Chamber. Lilith has what she wanted all this time. She took the stone. No sign of Yorin, though. We need to find him. Was it another vision? We must find Yorin.
Okay. Temper, natural finesse. Flat damage is good. Oh wait, whoops. We want natural finesse on this. Plus also works in elemental surge. That works. Here we're gonna do eagle finesse for some storm feather potency. Eagle finesse. Eagle finesse. Eagle finesse. Eagle finesse. I don't care about the eagle damage. All I want is storm feather potency. Okay, and then we're gonna just take some flat damage on this. Damage to close works. Here, we're gonna take some more storm feather potency. For my eagle damage, I just want storm feather potency, please. Focus damage. Eagle damage. Okay, and then here we want natural motion. Evade cooldown reduction works for me.
Use it well.
They're here. Yorin can resist.
People are dying in there.
Down and I will leave you peace.
Aye.
Lilith.
Unrelenting, I don't remember what that is. I have to read it in a second. Recalling feathers is interesting. I don't know what to do. What's unrelenting? Everything. Oh, crushing hand. Okay. We don't care. Okay. Recalling feathers, though.
Can we never have peace?
Well, he's still breathing.
He is lucky to be.
That old man.
Check around. Donan. Strange.
Okay.
I had hoped. They're coming to a hell rift. I will close it. Put them down. Far too easy. I'd expect more from a mage of Elias's ability. Let's search the house. Tread carefully. Elias could still be close. See what you can find.
Today.
Okay. So I'm on decent pace, especially compared to where I expected to be, frankly. Because remember, I'm running this on internal, and the splits I'm comparing against have seasonal powers enabled. So the fact that I'm only 3 minutes behind and we're reaching the point where the witch powers are going to become irrelevant is a huge deal.
Your hatred fills my heart.
Thank you.
I might still be on sub 250 pace, which is great.
Show me the way. I long for the day.
And then I've got to do this while I can, set my waypoint to Kedbardu, so that way after this fight, I can...
Fire. Visitors. Rise now, my wretches. To me!
Okay.
Master Elias, hear me! Your enemies are here!
I have waited a very long time for this. I have a gift for you.
That is a proper demon. Watch your ass.
Okay, not bad.
Bad news. Make yourself useful and head for the Orbe Monastery. See what's keep.
Okay. So we're 4 minutes behind. Holy lag, Batman. Okay.
Is anyone here?
Murder! Murder in the sacristy!
Lock the doors!
He's here! Open the door! Let us out!
Unto evening. Unto evening. I shall keep it safe. And then... The apple.
From more.
Okay, if I end up more than 5 minutes behind at any point, I will be resetting the run.
No. My friends.
And ending stream, because I don't have another good run in me. Damn. Those boots had a chance. Those boots really did. They had a chance.
Oh, and avoid the city gates.
Have I ever taught any of you guys about the loading zone horse thing?
Not convinced this whole unit.
No, no! Don't let them get me!
Have you seen someone named prisons? Maybe there is a chance Oyun lives. Oyun, are you here?
Who's there? You...
Where did the cannibals come from?
The wall ahead. Can you break through?
We'll get through. Stay close.
Look!
Cool.
We made it. I can't stop my hands from shaking. Give me a moment. Yes.
Keep that beast quiet.
Shh. It's safe now. Nothing
Solaya!
will you up here.
You know, when we first met, I assumed... While you were in the city...
Okay.
Oyun said the tunnel is in a hidden alcove. There. Ahead. Twin sabers.
This Russian Claw stuff is a huge deal for the speedrun.
Wait. Do you hear that?
And Stormfeather Potency was a genius move on my part.
Andariel, the Maiden of Anguish. That is the lesser evil he means to summon. Heavens help us.
Right, because these storm feathers are doing a huge amount of damage along my path.
The master calls forth the maiden.
I made up over a minute.
Look at all this. An archive of the Forbidden, handpicked by Elias himself. He must be planning to summon Andariel somewhere else. But he did his research here. Look around. There might be some clues that can tell us where the ritual will take place.
Wow.
The prophecy is
Andariel. Behind the bookcase. I guess that's the one thing he learned from me. Should have killed him when it... Somewhere in the Bale Shrine is close. We'll start there.
Okay, so now as I continue to run along here, I'm really just trying to think about how to correctly layer Soar, Russian Claw, and Evade to make the best use of the Stormfeather potency. It's hard to keep track of all these different things, but the Stormfeather stuff is a huge deal, because you can see my movement speed right now is increased a gigantic amount.
Mephisto.
Dual Mephisto.
Okay, and then now... Nice, we got it.
Ulkathos, lend me your strength. The forces of hell approach.
If you just double click on him fast enough, his dialogue spawns and despawns without you needing to interact with the dialogue menu, which is, again, a huge deal.
What took you so? The Temple of the Prime.
What took me so long? Listen, bozo. I'm literally on fucking nasty ass pace, little Wrath. What took you so long? Bro, I literally dialogue skipped the scene. I was gone for 25 seconds. Fuck you.
By your hand, the way.
Trespassers! Your screams!
Wait, do you hear something? We're too late.
Saved 19 seconds there as well. That's sick.
We should get to Todd.
Oh, it's going great, dude. I'm way ahead of the pace I expected to be on. I'm running on Eternal, not Seasonal. So Eternal's slower because you like don't have the witch powers or whatever. And I'm only a minute and 21 seconds behind the pace that a seasonal run would be on, which is like an insane amount of which is like an insane. This is ridiculous that without witch powers, you know, I'm over an hour in and I'm only a minute and a half behind. Not only that, I'm making up pace against my last run, which is even nuttier. And there was a glitch in the game that I was bug abusing last time I ran Spiritborn. Are you familiar with the thing where you could manipulate your horse and sit at the movement speed cap the entire time? So I'm playing really, really well right now is the point. That's the point. So it's no longer in the game, but it used to be. It was patched out with the start of Season 7. But it used to be the case that if you were on your horse and you pressed mount, if you pressed dismount and giddy up at the same time, the movement speed bonus that's applied to your horse when you giddy up was applied to you instead. And then if you remounted your horse before the end of that movement speed bonus, that bonus would become permanent until you went through a loading zone. So, as a consequence, you could end up in this ridiculous situation where you could, like, giddy up yourself by, like, mounting and dismounting your horse. And the thing is, the bug sounds hard. It wasn't. You could get it on your first try. They patched it out with the beginning of Season 7. They resolved the bug. But for at least a few months during Season 6, it was possible to giddy up yourself like you were the horse. Which is crazy. I'm sure you can imagine how ridiculous that is in a speedrunning context, right? That you could giddy up yourself like you are the horse.
Found a quiet.
Every day brings new round and walk out of here. Friends.
Correct. I've never hit 300. I don't care about hitting 300. So. Last season I got to 274 and then stopped, so that's where I am.
Ah, you're here. Deckard is inside.
But her screams are only a
Like,
whisper.
you have to remember the Paragon system is only a season old, so this is just what my max level was last season.
Her influence will
This season I'm 266. So.
I am.
Also, I appreciate you saying that I'm concentrating, but the campaign doesn't have a whole lot of technical stuff in it the way that 1 to Lilith runs do. So you don't need to be like nearly as worried about like interrupting the speedrun routing or anything like that. You barely made 282 last season? Nice.
That looks worn. I can fix it.
Skill finesse. Focus damage, no. No. No.
Don't
Yeah, no.
doing all that work, huh?
Been lurking and working all day, so I want to finally check in and see what's been going on. Well, I've been playing Diablo for 5 hours. That's what's been going on.
Could it be? Ah, it is! The gods favor our journey, friends! Share a drink with me, Deckard. A toast to another life or death adventure.
No, I've had quite enough. It's all yours.
Ah, I won't turn down such generosity. Seems it's dying down. Onward!
Really fortunate.
Never seen something finer. Rare to have something so fine.
Oh, no. No! Back! We need to go back!
What? What's wrong?
My pipe! I left my pipe back at the chapel! We must go back and get it!
Old man, if you turn your back now, I'll be the first to bury a blade in it.
Bah! Fine. But I won't forget this betrayal, Deckard. And you know I won't. Come on, then. We're being swarmed. Keep Isabella safe. Ah, Deckard. Do you remember the smell of the salt air on the ocean? No shade or devil could stand in our way. Been all across this world since then. Seen things you wouldn't believe. But it was never quite the same. Wandering without a direction, it was just waiting.
Aye. It's important to have something to walk towards.
One foot in front of the other, eh, old friend? If we stop walking, we die. Sounds like the winds have calmed. Stay close. Look at it.
Elias chose them to join his anointed circle?
It was Master Elias's hand that brought Lilith to Sanctuary.
You there! Wait!
I haven't seen...
All right.
Damn. This is worse than I thought.
Raise your heads high!
It's ancient magic. You can see anywhere with it. Across time, even.
Go forth and...
Yeah, I'll see you, man. I'm probably not streaming tomorrow, probably. But we'll take a look, for sure.
Blessed Mother, I will not fail you again. The maiden will walk this world.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Elias. This is over. We should find the Sightless Eye while we still have time. We can't leave it with these fanatics.
Hold on. I see something. Blood petals. I had another vision.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Lilith thinks the Prime
Have a nice rest of your evening.
destroy Sanctuary, and she's empowering people to stand against them.
That's why she and Elias are gathering followers. They're building a bloody army.
Yes, Laura.
The Lords of Hell threaten our existence, and we are doing something about it.
Elias, how are you still alive?
You will never understand what I have done for this world. After all the...
Why won't that bastard die? We can't keep bashing our heads against him like this. He'll wear us down. We need to escape, but not without the Sightless Eye. If we can take it, that'll rob him of some power at least.
You received her blessed communion.
Open your heart to her. Embrace
your nature.
Never.
You will give up at some point.
Ugh, that stench. It's unnatural.
I've never ever seen that happen. That took so many hits.
Where did he find this power?
Looking for the eye, Lorath. Taking it will change nothing. It is too late to stop what Lilith has begun. Oh, you can do better than this, can't you?
What is going on? What?
Here it is.
I guess the answer is that I should, like, rely more on the storm feathers themselves.
Put pressure here. We need to stop the bleeding.
It seems I've lost a step in my old age, eh, Dakota?
Did you kill him?
The prime evils must have been.
No more gruesome than the rest of Sanctuary's underbelly. I can shut out.
We need answers. Elias used the Sightless Eye to contact Lilith. Perhaps it can help us. Bring it here, would you? We need answers. It's risky, but we haven't got a choice. Perhaps it can help us. Bring your mind into the eye.
Faithful tenant.
Good news.
A prophecy has been delivered to me. One that speaks.
Haven't even gone. I used to be like that girl. Had more dreams than I knew what to do with. Let me unseal this. Uchakid. Chespit Hilm. The stone will need to be attuned to Lilith before Lorath marches up to her. It won't hold her well otherwise. I put together some notes on the process before I left. Lilith hails from her father's domain. Hatred. That's the essence Lorath will need for the attunement. I kept a map somewhere. Here.
This place...
You were right to call upon me, you know.
I'm still much...
Soulstones are no trifle.
There's the door.
Very good.
Hell of a storm.
What happened out there? Bloody hell. Listen, I wonder what's old.
Nice. Oh. I am cooking. Only a minute 34 behind on Eternal.
You were a student of Elias's, Thaisa?
We must... I was hunting Elias. Pretending to study with him.
I...
Okay. If the Eternal record ends up being outright faster than the seasonal record, fucking good.
Do you feel that? finally back.
Oh.
It feels worse here somehow. This must be the place. I haven't fought much since I was a young man. I've lost the grit for it. Whatever else is Great Yun, Dan Tanis, Beri, Dis, Tom Iklimon. Damn it! What's wrong with it? Come on.
I'll say it once more. Whatever it is you're looking for.
She's been gone for so long. You don't think... Is she back?
Now you mind yourself, Senna. Witches.
Thaisa? You're the witch in the tower?
Horadrim, I thought you journeyed to the keep.
Yes, well...
And why?
Thaisa.
I'm only 45 seconds behind. And I'm moving faster. Oh. I teleported to the wrong place. That's a 20-second mistake. Oof. Ooh.
Ah, you're back. Place the purified quicksilver in that
And how
table. Difficult to believe, I know. I've seen my allies throw their lot in with Lilith. People I thought were stronger than that. But that is why. Grind it in the mortar, so no one else will follow.
Fight hard, eh? Make the devils pay.
Speak to me outside. He is not up.
Why do we go to this place? There's nothing left for me to do. Let me return.
Return? Return where?
The swamp's
her actual, like, how do I explain this?
foolish.
Good.
Okay.
Make haste. The Haradrim tires of waiting. Set the swamp's gift in the pot to brew a tea.
I simply think this is a waste of your
My
time.
movement speed is capped when I have the feathers bonus active, and when I don't have it active.
Do you see the bridge?
Wait for what?
For the swamp to call out to your soul and draw what festers from you, like poison from a wound.
Okay.
What? A portal? Mephisto.
Hold you back. Look at them. So consumed by their emotions that they forget what really matters. Lilith is the true threat, not Elias.
I know why you're so afraid of her.
My fate is tied to yours. If she devours me, Sanctuary is lost. But you still have a chance to stop her. What if I opened a portal for you out of this swamp? Let the Horadrim deal with Elias. He is their sin to bear. You and I can work together to stop Lilith.
I know who my real allies are. My friends. Take me back to them.
The day of reckoning will come, and your true friends will be revealed. Now, take the portal back to your allies. If Lilith prevails, you'll only have yourself.
I don't know yet.
Let us begin. Mix the quicksilver in the pot. And the fire. Turn the wheel twice. No more, no less. Carefully.
What a loathsome place to another set of eyelids.
Do you think Elias knew Thaisa before she went to his palace?
I don't know, Nero.
Only two kinds of people come looking for old Timur. Those running away from trouble, and those running toward it. Which kind are you, I wonder? Never heard of it.
Go to Engavani.
The doorbell.
Okay, so now we're about to run into the place where we got the bug last time. Cross your fingers for no bug, friends. Nice, no bug.
This must be it.
$17 behind? Oh, wait, no, 17 seconds ahead!
Good, you found the insect.
I'm 17 seconds ahead! Forget Eternal versus Seasonal. This is outright world record pace for Spiritborn. This is nuts! I'm a genius for this Stormfeathers idea. I'm so fucking good at the game.
But why?
Holy...
Imperial believed the Haradrim, the incense...
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Damn. They must have tracked our scent. When you're ready, light the incense.
Holy...
How long will we have? Bloody hell.
My love shall receive.
We need to find a way forward.
Oh, there's an opening beneath the serpent. Just big enough for me. I think it wants me to go through.
Don't be ridiculous.
We must follow the path.
Is this dream snake helping us, or...
Mola, the largest and most cunning of the Nangari, is said to have gained her intelligence from consuming the witch Zala, who once called the scrying pools her home. What does that even mean?
Over here.
No. Oh no.
She hears us, just as you do.
I lost sight of the serpent, but I hear it calling to me. Up ahead. Oh, it's wounded though. Or is it telling us to wound it?
Clever thinking. So, who will stab at it to see if it will move?
Look at that! Look at that! Ruthless, flippant.
That's the way through. Help me clear those dead trees.
Ruthless Haradrim.
It's barring our path again. Keep a sharp eye out.
So many come seeking answers. So many fail. Will you die like these souls? With a question still on your lips?
Shut up, shut up. You aren't real.
An old drunk.
The judge of what is real.
Look.
We are real. And so is the law of
the swamp.
Token! I know you.
Okay.
Is that...
The Tree of Whispers. If there are Rex...
$17.7 ahead is crazy work. I can't believe that I'm ahead right now.
Rathma's prophecy spoke of a sub.
The moment the light.
Can you see the coffin from here? Any sign of it? I think I can unlock the door from the other side.
All right.
Oh.
It's here. Just a...
Nerel! Damn it, what was I thinking? Nerel, go on ahead to the coffin. I'll look after it.
You see the way.
Rathma. Elias's presence still taints this place. The day. Staircase is flooded. I need a way to cross it.
Look at the minimap to see when the white markers spawn, and that tells you when you're able to soar across the gap there.
The secret of Elias's immortality must be deeper within. This is Elias's finger. No, I'm not going to die here.
I found you drifting in a Good. Let us end this then, once and for all. Let me end what I began. No one else is going to get hurt because of my choices.
No. No.
No more time to rest. You should check on Donan. We'll meet you at the Zakarum Keep later.
Speaking for myself.
Something is wrong here.
Nothing right about this place.
Go and speak to Thaisa, move to the door.
Right, Creation, Dan, Tenis, Berry, Dis, Tom, Higlimon.
There. Do you feel that?
What is it, witch?
Someone is coming. It's Elias.
He's here. We have to...
Loris, don't you dare leave!
No, I'll kill him myself. The tree demands that you pay. And so do I.
I will set your tree afire.
I am here.
A minute 35 ahead is fucking crazy.
Lilith has been too... a strange thing.
Your silence only damns you further.
Sentries at the walls.
Lorath and Don.
Man, I could make an impossibly difficult Diablo 4 lore quiz. Like, in order to imbue a soulstone, one must recite the 6 sigils of which priest? Or just like a screenshot of Tarsarak and be like, which one of these buildings is the parched throat in?
How many?
Right, like I could like flex like insane difficulty questions.
Red sky, bleeding rain. Spirits, guide my
Questions that are so hard I don't even think they're Googleable.
The tree with Elias for eternity. Nobody wants that.
I was fine on my own.
These corpses, displayed so proudly, there's nothing of the light in this.
They mean to make an example.
You hear that? They mentioned the Lord of Hatred.
Mephisto.
Same as before.
How can you say this changes nothing? Our one potential ally just ran off with our one weapon.
Unnecessary.
Feel that? The ground shook.
Ambush! From the rooftops!
Go. We'll handle things here.
You there! Clear the way!
Yes, Reverend Mother.
Be ready for what lies beyond!
Must be something underground.
Reverend Mother, the gate is barred against us.
Hold our position.
Lorath, a word, please. We can't trust her.
The chain's gone slack. It must have snapped. I need to find another way to the palace. Corpses. Demon's work. A strong one. These people suffered. What was that? Lorath spoke of lesser evils beyond Andariel. Could that thing have been one?
Thank heavens you're here. I convinced them not to go without you.
But you shouldn't have thrown away the stone, either.
We have a heading. You've been hounding me about this and that non-stop. Can you drop it for once?
It's not about me hounding you. It's...
Enough! You're both so smart usually.
Usually?
Not today. Yes, the stone is gone. Instead of arguing, let's do something about it. If Inarius has it, let's take it back.
It is the only way to guarantee Lilith.
Well, what did you see? Whether we use you... Everything feels...
The others must have forged ahead. Hellfire. To keep us out, or to keep someone in?
We'll know soon. Stand back, and I'll dispel the flames. Tani Sabdailekit... Demons!
Help us fight them off!
Riveting gameplay, I know. Hello? Thank you, Nero.
Tani subdile kittos. It's Prava. Even she didn't survive this.
There's something underneath her. I know that glow. It's the Soul Stone.
The battle is not over. The father is hunting Lilith. In the spot.
Yes, but keep... Watch out! Something's bombarding us.
It's coming from the high ground.
Help me put up the bulwark.
The balance of power in hell. This is not over yet. I will draw out your suffering.
I'm surprised you still remember the words to the bulwark.
I'm the one who taught you that spell.
Tani subdile kittos. Tani subdile kittos.
Heed my call.
The demon that destroyed the bridge. She's the one who's been hunting us.
Lilith still has some allies in hell.
Not for long. Let's find another route.
All hail Lilith, Queen of Hatred.
Under the barrier, quickly! None.
Nithemon.
Get inside the barrier!
Nithemon.
Take cover!
Nithemon. You know.
Okay, let's see what our Shava time looks like. Yeah, I think this this Stormfeather stuff might be working. I think maybe the Stormfeather idea is a good idea.
was here. I see the blood petals.
What happened?
She's already gone.
What now?
I have an idea. I will prepare the sightless eye.
The eye? What do you mean?
We must find...
Donin!
Foolish of you to use the eye again.
What is this? Where am I?
A prisoner in your own mind. I could keep you here forever. But I will offer you a different fate. You could be Sanctuary's greatest protector. But only if you choose to. I will show you why the world has need of you. Ever since you drank my blood, I have been a part of you. I always will be. I gifted humans with free will, but they are lost.
Shameful. Our Father has granted you a path to salvation. And yet, you stray from it at every opportunity.
And people submit the world through a child's eyes.
The Horadrim know the truth.
Elias thought I was the one to save Sanctuary. But he was...
I am no savior.
I will keep you shackled here. Forever.
Hello, friend.
The cave in the mountains. This is where Mephisto found me.
I thought I sensed that old wolf skulking around. You would follow Mephisto, but not me. Are you that foolish?
Pledged to worthier powers.
What did my father offer you?
Nothing I wanted.
Answer me.
The sightless eye.
Oh. Oh. All right. So we're at minus 330, so we're at 29. We're at 239.34 pace, which is great.
You've arrived before Lilith, but she is close.
What now? Something isn't right. Mephisto led you to this moment. We're in his realm. Should we really be doing what he wants? Between him and Lilith, he is the greater evil.
You want to use the stone on him?
I missed a phase there. I could have skipped, but I didn't. Want to see how much easier the campaign version of this fight is? You can stand still during the campaign version if you know exactly where to stand, which is like here. You can just stand still and not ever take any damage. Oh, I missed it. It was a little farther up. It's like here, maybe? Okay. Thank you for the world's slowest loading frame. I appreciate you, game.
It is done.
Now... rest, girl, while you can. We'll be on the move again. She's gone. Why didn't you wait for us? Yes.
Lorathnar!
Will this never end?
Yosef, what do you want?
Step aside. I'm here for the Horadrim.
Can it wait? I'm off to bury a friend.
We'll dig his grave for you.
Well, that's kind. But who will dig yours?
Kill the heretic!
I know what I saw. She had horns like a beast, strode right past where you stand. I can save you from this I thought you'd know me better by now. I am my mother's daughter. Where there's a lead, there's
Alright, so we're looking at 29, excuse me, 239.54? Something like that?
Why do I only hear one set of footsteps?
2h39m51s.